Welcome everyone to It's the Love for Me experience. Listen, guys, as I say all the time, I have the best guests here on my show because I do. Listen, I am Dr. Cherie Cooper Franks, and I am the host of It's the Love for Me experience. And of course, I'm going to bring you the brightest guests, the best, those that are out there doing their thing in this world, making a difference, those that are encouraging, uplifting, and really showing people what you see you can be. So without further ado, of course, I have the best, the most sought out or sought after international concierge in the world, Mr. Devon Peppy Stevenson. Welcome.
Thank you. I appreciate that introduction.
You know I'm crazy. I was going to give it that long. I was like, what all can I? Listen, he is the best at what he does. So welcome to this set. It's
Wow.
the love for me. I'm so excited that
Thank
you're
you.
here. How are you?
I'm well. How about you?
I am good. Listen, I could not wait to have you on set. This is almost like a reunion.
Yeah,
It
it really
actually
is.
is because you were one of the very first guests that I had
Hey,
at
Pam.
It's the Love for Me conference that we did here. And listen, look at us now. Look at me now.
Full circle, right?
I am so
Wow.
so super excited just for you to come and sit down and just share, your story with people, give them a little insight as to who you are, what you're doing. And yeah, so tell us right now. So I said concierge.
That's right.
So when I think of concierge, many things come to mind, but in your opinion, what is one of the most I guess the most important thing that people think about or associate with concierge?
That's a great question. Most people think that when you say concierge, you're talking about a chauffeur.
Hmm.
That's the most common misconception.
Yes.
And because I'm a bigger black guy,
Yeah.
most of the time everybody thinks I'm a driver for
That you the
people.
driver.
Yeah. That's what everybody assumes. So that's
Wow.
the part we have to break down most of the time, which is a concierge literally translates to the caretaker. And that's
Mm.
what we do. We literally take care of needs for people. And you
Everybody.
don't have to be rich to have a concierge. You just have to have the appreciation for
Yes.
proper care.
Come on, it's
Yeah.
the love for. So it's like it's the
Absolutely.
love for what you do. So
Yeah.
let's tap into that really quickly. What initially drew you to the role and the caretaking position that you're in as a chief concierge?
Wow. Primarily, I couldn't answer the question, what is it that you do for a living? I
Yes.
would struggle with answering that. And it was because
Mm.
I had so many gifts.
Come on
I
now.
would always wrestle with trying to tell people what I did for a living. And so my corporate jobs were responsible for taking care of multiple people.
Mm.
And so what I would always say, I would adjust based on who I was talking to,
Right.
but I always took issue with answering that question.
Wow.
And so finally, when I had the opportunity for a break to open and I had some planning time, uh, Lux Life Concierge was born out of it.
Mm.
Born out of the need to answer the question, what is it you do for a living?
Yes,
And
Lux Life.
Lux
So
Life.
expound on that for me,
Sure.
as it relates to the name. Where did that name come from?
I think it was the experience. Um, I think once we provided the service, everybody, even on a lower level, people would always say, "This is actually pretty luxe." They would always say that
Mm.
word, and I said, "Well, everybody deserves a little luxe in their life." And
Yes.
so I would always just
Come
associate
on,
that
Lux
with,
Life.
all right, everybody deserves luxe in their life. And so it became a
Yes.
lifestyle thing, Lux Life.
Lux Life. I like that. That's catchy too.
Yeah.
And it just makes sense. Now you mentioned, working with and really just taking care of many people in many facets of your life and in many career forms. So give me an idea. Tell me a story of a time when you had a guest, that was particularly meaningful for you, and how did you reinforce your career purpose? Like, how did your purpose translate to that particular guest, and was it meaningful for you?
I think I could say it happens with every client of mine.
Yeah.
It happens with every client because some people start off with the assumption that you're just going to take money from them.
Mm.
And they don't realize that this is a lifestyle brand,
Mm.
which means we take care of the whole person.
Yeah.
So once you become a client of ours, we make you family. And
Mm.
so I take that same approach with every client. And I have to tell people because some people won't call me because they assume you have to be a wealthy person.
Right.
No, you just have to have a deep appreciation for good service.
Ooh.
And so and
I
so
like
I
it.
when I tell people when I start getting calls from people, they will approach me almost lightheartedly because they assume it's just a money grab.
Right, right.
Well, no, every client becomes family to us.
Mm-hmm.
And so to see every client go from just transactional to to personal and
Mm-hmm.
adopting us into their family
Mm-hmm.
to where it becomes, oh, I'm gonna have my children call you.
Mm.
And then, or I'm gonna have my grandmother call you
Yeah.
because we need somebody we can trust.
Yeah.
And so every client for me is the opportunity to build a whole new relationship.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's interesting because as you're talking, I'm thinking as well, like from the overall person, there is no one thing that you can attend to.
That's
And
right.
I think that is the beauty of the Lux life. Like, because I'll be honest, I had a misconception as well. I was like, I see this part, that part. But when you hit on the total person like that really resonates, and that, you don't often see males
Yeah,
in
yeah.
this role.
That's
So
exactly right.
speak to the persona or perspective of people as it relates to the person.
Wow. I don't get a lot of pushback on being a male in the industry.
Oh, that's
And
good.
and I think mainly because my reputation speaks for me.
Hmm.
And it's not out of hubris that I say that. It is I've built when I started, I didn't start taking a bunch of money or
Hmm.
taking the backing of some big names. There I knew when I went into it that there were not a bunch of black people period in the
Hmm.
space, but I knew there were really no black men in the space.
Right.
And so what I knew I had to go into was go in and fight the misconception of just being another uh, new business,
That's right. That's
especially
right.
when at the height of COVID, which is when I started. So I
Yes.
had to go in fighting that. And so I tell people all the time, I started with my name and my reputation.
Wow.
And so I took
Mm.
the backing from my corporate job,
Mm-hmm.
which was I built a reputation and a book of business on my own bootstrapping.
Mm-hmm.
And that clientele followed me.
Wow.
And they were okay saying, we just want you to take care of it.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm.
they followed me when I decided to make the separation from corporate.
Right.
And the great thing about it is I consider everybody in what I do.
Mm-hmm.
So even my corporate partnerships were fine with me making
The transition.
the transition
Wow.
and even welcome me back to develop another branch of relationship with them.
Wow, that's interesting.
Yeah.
You said something profound.
Mm,
Your reputation
mm,
and how important that is in this industry, particularly attending to the needs of people. I tell people all the time, word of mouth
mhm.
speaks bigger than a billboard.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? So it matters how you treat people
Absolutely.
and what how your interactions with people, like it matters because
Absolutely.
granted in today's society people are going to say good, bad and indifferent, but I know that good it always outweighs the bad. Like
Absolutely.
I believe that wholeheartedly. So
Yeah.
in your particular industry, in your field, as with many, there are challenges.
Yes.
What is something that you can immediately think about that said, okay, yeah, I had to overcome this in this, as
Yeah.
a new business
Absolutely.
during COVID? You mentioned that. So, what is something that stands out that you had to overcome?
I'll tell you one thing that actually gained business for me
Mm.
is that I told a client no. And I
That's my
didn't tell a
favorite
client
word.
no out of knee-jerk reaction.
Yeah.
The client wanted me to do a personal deal
Mm.
that I did not think was beneficial to them.
Okay.
And I just happened to be, this is funny how this lines up. I just happened to be getting ready to get on a jet with a client of mine, a new client.
Okay.
And they were already thinking because they are a wealthy person, they were already assuming that everybody is just there for their money
Yeah.
anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm getting ready to get on the jet with this client, and the other client calls me and says, "Do this deal." And I told him, I said, "I'll do it for you, but I'm not going to charge you."
Mm.
And I said, because if somebody knows I did a deal for you like that, my entire reputation is at
Oh,
stake.
wow.
And I hung up the phone, and I had ear pods in or AirPods, whatever. And I got off the phone, and the client said, I don't mean to be in your business, but I heard what you just did.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, and if you tell me the truth like that, you'll have my business forever. And
Wow.
so I knew it was bigger than just being a yes man, and I
Yeah.
take that approach with every client.
Yeah.
I don't wanna just do something because you think it's good. I take my whole mind into every situation,
Mm,
and I try to give you the best so that when you come back, you're not unhappy 5 years down the line or a
right.
year, that you always wanna come back to me.
Yeah. And there's no regret. You know what I mean? To your
Exactly.
point of being, the money grab and the stigma that, could be associated with,
Absolutely.
when your heart is in it, when you do it because it's the love for you.
Absolutely. I
Pun
love
intended. Woo! Then you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like it speaks volumes. So by you helping everyone and attending to needs and really, making or taking into consideration your clients and really adopting them as family,
Yeah.
how do you, Mr. Stevenson, huh? Baby.
Yeah, that's
how do you how do you maintain a healthy balance, a healthy lifestyle attending to the needs of others?
I don't. I
Mm,
have to tell the truth on that. I
yeah,
don't. I haven't found it yet.
just yet.
Yeah, I'm working at it every day. This is actually the season for me to shut down
Mhm.
because since I started working at 17,
Mhm.
I've not had a real vacation or break.
Oh, wow.
And people associate because I travel for work
Mhm.
that I'm on leisure. I haven't found a break in that yet. So
Mm.
17 till now, that's 18 years of straight work.
Yes.
And so I'm not the best person to advise people on how to take a break.
But you're working
I'm
towards
working
it.
toward it, yeah,
Mhm.
absolutely.
Mhm.
And so I've just gotten that space. I'm the person who wanted to learn every aspect of my business
Mhm.
before I decided to hand anything over to anybody
Right.
so that nobody could use that against me.
Yeah.
Oh, you don't know what it's like. You'll never be able to say
Oh,
that to me.
man, listen. I say it all the time.
Yeah,
As a business owner,
absolutely.
let me say, serial entrepreneur,
Absolutely, yeah.
running very, many businesses, working in spaces of healthcare, with our business. When I do onboarding,
Mhm.
I'm there. Matter of fact, I asked them to the people that I hire. I asked them to come and shadow me
Wow.
because never will you say you can't do anything. I literally run 5 businesses in a day, and I don't
Yeah.
say that to your point, I don't say it, as a way of stouting or,
Yeah, yeah.
being
I
prideful.
know
I'm
exactly.
saying I do it because I have to, and I know that it can be done. So anyone
Absolutely.
that I employ,
Yeah,
you can do I empower you to do
absolutely.
it because I do it every day. So it's
Absolutely.
no such thing as I cannot.
Yeah.
It's no such thing.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
People who we hire, because we don't go to big firms first,
Mhm.
we try to hire the person that's getting their start and
Yes.
trying to build their reputation.
Mhm.
That's what I specialize in. Trying to take the newer business owners
Okay.
and get them in the door
Mm.
so that when they become the Fortune 500 company, they can say,
Yes.
somebody gave me a chance. And so, people on personal service level, when
Mhm.
they're with smaller companies, look for the opportunity to tell you, you don't know what my struggle is.
Mm.
Well, I'm taking that out. I try to take that out of the
Yes.
equation,
Yes.
and especially in positions like butlers and
Mhm.
drivers and key staff people.
Mhm.
Those people deal with people who
Intense.
take a lot on. Yeah,
Yes.
and the last thing they want to hear, unfortunately, is about your personal life.
Right.
And so I try to take the personal out of it and teach
Mm.
people there's a separation in all of it.
Yeah.
You can't bring
You
it to
have to.
work with you. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. And so I had my first driver. He was a younger guy, and I'm very critical about my personal space.
Mhm.
So when he came in to work for me, I gave him a few chances, and what he would always say is, "You don't know what it's like to
You
do this."
understand. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, what he didn't know is before I hired a driver for myself, I went and became a driver
Right.
so that nobody could say exactly what
Right.
he was saying. Well, no, I'm not just saying this. I've done
I've
this.
done it.
Yeah,
Yes.
so I'm speaking from a place of experience. So
Absolutely.
that's just kind of how my brain works.
No, and
Yeah.
I think you gotta, I can't tell you how these shoes feel
Yeah.
if I haven't walked in them.
Absolutely.
So I definitely understand that. I employed with everybody that works for me. They always say, Dr. Cherie, you are so funny. No, but I'm telling
I'm
the truth.
serious. Yeah, yeah.
Like this is
I
really
wrap it
it.
this way, but yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So you talk about relationship building.
Yeah.
How important is that with you? And you have mentioned that, throughout the conversation that you make, you want your customers to feel like family, but expound a little bit more on the relationship building and how significant it is in your role.
I'm gonna tell you where I learned the importance of relationship building. As a seventh grader
Mm.
in Acres Home at
Yeah.
MC Williams,
Mhm.
I sat as the first student to host, to be the speaker at a Chamber of Commerce event,
Wow.
and it was God's timing how that worked out, which is another story. But when I was at the table, I didn't know who all these people were. They sat me at the head table,
Uh-huh.
and there was this older gentleman there, and his name was Scott. And then there was Sheila Jackson Lee, who I didn't know who she was at the time. I'm a seventh grader.
Mhm.
And then Sylvester Turner and Robert Muhammad, and these
Mhm.
people were sitting at the table with me. And Scott leaned over and was just trying to find out who I was. Why is this seventh grader
Yeah,
sitting at the
why is this
table
kid
with us?
here?
Yes.
Yeah.
And he just asked me a few questions and I answered them. And while we were talking, a photographer took a picture.
Mm.
And that picture ended up on the cover of the front page of the Houston Chronicle.
Wow. What are
And
the odds?
it was just funny how it lined up. And we framed that picture. And Scott and I were talking, and he said, I tell you what, take my number.
Mm.
This is when he gave me his home phone number.
Oh,
If
wow.
that tells you anything. He said, take my number. If you ever need anything, give me a call. Well, then Scott was the director of HEB um, at the time, the Houston market.
Mhm.
Scott ended up being Scott McClellan, who was on all the HEB commercials,
Get out.
the national president of HEB.
Yes.
Well, I called Scott as a seventh grader. Oh no, when I got to high school as a ninth grader, and I had just become a member of the Gents,
Mm,
and
mm.
they made me the scholarship fundraising chair.
Wow. Come
Yeah,
on, relationship.
and I called Scott at home, and I told him, I said, we had stayed in touch since seventh grade, so it wasn't just a random call. I said, hey, I'm over at the school now, and I need help raising money for the scholarship. He didn't just send me a personal check. He had HEB send me a check.
Wow.
And until I graduated, now I became a member of the Gents in 2004.
Yeah.
Scott, from that point until Scott now, has sent me a check from HEB out of relationship and the work that we're doing.
Wow.
So that's when I knew relationship was important, not just now, but then.
Listen, who knew?
Yeah.
Come on, 12-year-old. But listen, this while you're talking, I'm like, where did you find tell me where did the courage come from? Like, what made you think sitting at this table that you could conversate with these people, these adults, right? Because
Yeah.
you don't know their
Right.
titles,
I didn't know what they meant at all
you
then.
know,
Yeah.
like what made you think,
There were no heirs at that table.
yes,
Now, um, there were no
egos.
egos at the table.
Yes.
That's what it was. Scott was just being nice.
Yeah.
I didn't know who Scott was, and Scott didn't know who I was. And I don't think he cared. He just knew there had to be some reason
That
I
you
was
were
sitting
there.
at the table.
Mhm.
And
Come
so
on, God.
it just went from that's really what it was. I just went from having a conversation with him to him saying, I knew there was a reason he had given me his number.
Yes.
I just knew there was a reason he handed me his number. And I knew he genuinely meant, if you ever need anything,
Yes.
call me. This is how I knew
Wow.
he meant what he said. When I turned 15, this is when you could go work at 15. I called Scott. Scott, you think they'll hire me at HEB? He said, I think they will. And he said, I'll tell you what, call this number. What store is close to your house? Told him. He said, call this number and answer for this person. Called, answered for that person. That person answered the phone. He said, come in Monday. Went in on Monday. And when I got there, everybody was just looking at me funny. And I didn't know what was
like,
going
what
on.
you doing here?
Yeah,
How you get in?
yeah. And when I walked in the office, the first thing the manager said to me was, I don't know who you are, but the president of the company called us and said to hire you.
Did you know he was the president at that time?
I didn't know he was the president. I just knew I just knew he had a connection to him.
Yes.
And he said, I don't know who you are, but he told us to hire you.
Wow.
And they hired me the same day.
But let me pause because let's be clear. We
Yeah.
being real cute and comical. It's favor.
Yeah.
Nah, come on.
I'll take that. Yeah.
That's what it
Yeah.
was.
But see, when you're in the moment, you don't think about it like that. You just
Absolutely
think
not.
somebody hooked me up.
Yeah,
You
that's
know what I
it.
mean?
Yeah. And
Somebody
you were a
looked out for me.
teenager.
I was a
So of
teenager.
course you're not thinking,
Yeah.
God has his hand on me.
Yeah.
But in hindsight, now as an adult, fast forward as a business owner,
Yeah.
really attending to needs of others, you like, God got me.
Yeah. Oh,
God
absolutely.
had me. God has
Absolutely.
me.
I realize that every week because what I thought was supposed to be. So I'm gonna jump back real quick.
Yes.
The way I started my company was already a push.
Yeah.
It wasn't expected.
Yeah.
I was doing really good at my corporate job. I had a
Mhm.
really good job.
noticed
But
that.
yeah, I was doing really good. And you know, how your parents say, you got a good job.
Yeah.
I had a really good job.
Yeah.
And so I didn't know I was gonna start a company when I did. And I really didn't think it was gonna be at the beginning of the pandemic.
Yes.
And then I thought it was only gonna be a pandemic company.
Yes.
Everybody was popping up. You know what I mean? Everybody
Yeah.
was PPPing and everything.
I'm done.
And I thought it was gonna be part of that boom.
Yeah.
I was like, all right, let me make it while I can,
You
and then
better
I'm
get
on the
it
way
while
out.
it's hot.
But then when I realized my company was a lifestyle, I knew it was gonna be here for the long term.
Yeah.
So I knew God had his hand on it, and I just didn't know it was going to be the opportunity for me to walk away from relationships
Corporate,
that I
yeah.
thought were gonna hold me forever. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So that's really where it opened up for me.
Wow.
Yeah.
So in thinking about this in totality,
Mhm.
right? How would you measure the success of of this legacy that you are living right now? How would you measure success in your role?
In my role, I measure it that I've had the opportunity to literally tell people that I take care of people for a living.
Mm-hmm.
That I've not had to go back to the corporate machine,
Mm-hmm.
and that I'm excited about it every day, even what seemed like bad days for people.
Mm-hmm.
I'm excited about it every day.
Wow.
Roy Melanson, when I was in the 7th grade, told me or asked me, what makes you tick?
Mm-hmm.
What is it you go to sleep thinking about? What is it that you wake up thinking about? And if nobody paid you for it, what is it you would want to do? Exactly.
Yes.
He asked me that in 7th grade. I had no clue what he meant. I had the chance, while he's alive now, I've had the chance to tell him, thank you for asking me that question.
Wow.
Because I didn't know what he meant then.
Mm-hmm.
And then that question bothered me. Just like when I was starting my company, what is it you do for a living?
Yeah.
That question bothered me for years. And I was trying to figure out what is it that makes me tick. And so my company makes me tick. So if nobody paid me to do it, I'd
You would
still
still
do
do
it.
it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh my
Without a
gosh.
question. Thank God it pays me.
Look, that part
Yeah, thank God
in
it pays.
today's time, for sure.
Absolutely, yeah.
Wow, I think it is amazing though, but it speaks volumes to your person.
Wow.
That I'm gonna throw this in because I just want to. We're talking about taking care of people,
Yeah.
but let's be clear. Heavy, do you remember when you took care of Sugar?
I do. I can't forget it. Absolutely.
My granddog.
Yeah, absolutely.
I had to go out of town for work. But Lord, you talked about when you were 12, but even in your 20s,
Yeah,
you just have a heart for people and a heart to help.
yeah.
And everybody don't have, maybe you took care of Sugar. I don't know. I
Sugar,
don't think Sugar ate
was
for the
standing
whole
at the
day.
graduate, standing at the graduate building with me. Yeah, I remember that.
In college.
Yeah.
Sugar
Yeah.
was a college graduate.
Yeah. Sugar was in the
Rest in
in
peace,
the loss.
Sugar.
Yeah, wow. Wow.
But yes, do you
Yeah,
remember? I had
I
to go
do.
out of town and it was like, I'll do it. I was like, really? You say yes.
Yeah.
But you have been taking care of people,
Yeah.
taking care of things, putting others first.
Wow.
Like that says a lot.
Yeah.
It just says a lot about your character, your upbringing, and your heart.
Wow.
You like you said, even if you didn't get paid, to your point, I believe that.
Yeah.
Like I believe you really would still be out there helping people. You mentioned something in regards to an organization that you have been not only a member, but now really a mentor and developing, doing big things. Speak on
Wow.
that and what you're doing with the Gents organization, how that came about, what you're doing, the male conference that
Yeah.
man, come on now, tell the people what you're doing.
So I became a member of the Gents in 2004.
Yes.
It came because my sister's friend was a member of the sister organization,
Okay.
and she would always speak highly of the work they were doing. Well, when I got into this place where I realized that I was meant for service,
That's it.
I just committed to. I was interested in anything that had to do with life changing,
Yes.
or building
Impacting
on people.
people.
Exactly.
Yes.
When
Yes.
I realized that was kind of my call, I was like, you know what? I want to be on anything that's got to
Yeah.
do with. So when she told me about the gents, I couldn't wait to get to high school to become a member,
Wow.
and then I actually became a member. And then when I became a member, I realized, all right, this is the group for me because I watched them look out for young men in a way nobody
Yes.
else had before.
That's right.
And as much as I don't give credit, I could have gone down another road because I grew up without a father in the house,
Mm-hmm.
technically. And so all the things that I could have done
Yeah.
or I could have experienced, I
Mm-hmm.
didn't have to because there was some man there helping me
Right.
like figure it out.
Mm-hmm.
And so I realized God was looking out for me on on that end because anything or the things that I should have experienced,
Right.
He sent somebody to kind of fill in the
But for
gap.
that. Yeah. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yes.
So I
Yes.
was grateful for that, and I always realized it. So when I became a member of Gents, it changed my life.
Wow.
And then I realized how God works things out in impossibilities.
Mm.
This is how I say this. Talking about a little boy from Acres Home who didn't have a father,
Yes.
who teaches young men now
Who don't have
how
fathers.
exactly.
But
That God, I mean, you can't make that
you
up.
can't.
Yeah, you can't make it up.
Righteous.
So for me, when you realize things like that, it would be a slap in the face to God to not at least say thank you somehow.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And that's my way of saying thank you
Wow.
to the man, Mr. Knowles, who mentored me.
Yeah.
To my neighbor, Henry Davis,
Yeah.
who would tie my tie for me because I ain't have nobody else to do it.
Right.
And then to Franklin Wesley,
Mm-hmm.
who
Mm.
let me get away with certain things
Yeah.
so that I could lead,
Yeah.
and then who showed me how to lead in your own fashion.
Wow.
I owe it to those kind of people. To his assistant, who on the last day of school gave me a 20 and said, "Now put that on a piece of a book." Those kind of things play in my mind all
Wow.
the time.
Wow.
So it is my way of saying thank you. It's to
Yes.
serve people. Yeah,
Yes, to give back. So
exactly. Yeah,
you hold I don't know if it's an annual thing, but
yeah, yeah.
speak a little bit to the event that I've seen
Yes.
within the past year or so.
The Kingsman Project.
Kingsman
So we
Project.
recently did the Kingsman Project, and the objective was actually quite simple, which was let's get as many men together, black men together,
Mm,
as we can,
mhm.
men and their children, or and their sons rather.
Yes.
Let's get as many black men and their sons together as we can, and let's put our suits on
Mm.
and give a different image of black men.
Come on, what you see you
Yeah,
can be?
yeah, absolutely. And that was it. And I wanted to get black men together to do that. And it
Yes.
just took on a life of its own, and it became a major project.
I love
Yeah,
that. I
and
saw
we had a
it.
great time.
I loved it.
Yeah.
And again, I know you hold, I don't know if it's a ticketed event.
It was a free event, completely free. Yeah, it was completely free. Yeah, it was completely free because we didn't want to give people any excuse
Any
to
excuse.
not show up.
Wow.
And so we wrote the whole thing
Wow.
just to make sure that people could show up and not have to think about anything.
I love
Yeah,
that. I love
yeah.
that. So is that something that's going to be
It's going to
annually?
be an annual event.
I love
We got
that.
the next one in the works now.
Wow. Of
Yeah,
course you
yeah,
do. Of course you
absolutely.
do. It was this year and you're already planning for next
Oh
year.
yeah, we got to.
I need
Yeah,
you're
trying to
my
make it
role
big
model.
and better. No,
One last thing,
sure.
one last question rather. If you could give advice
Mhm.
to 25-year-old you,
Mm,
what would you tell him?
it's
And I
all right.
picked 25 because I like the number. It doesn't have you
25?
pick a if you
Younger me.
younger me,
Okay.
younger yourself,
Yeah.
yes. What would you tell him?
I would tell younger me it's all right to say no. I've
I
always
like
struggled with
that.
saying no, and no has always got me in a lot of trouble.
Yeah,
And so I would say confidently, it's all right to
it's
say no.
okay. I love
And you're
that.
gonna live after the no. You know what I
Yes,
mean? It's not
yes.
the worst thing. You're gonna be all right. So yeah, say no.
Because and also, yeah, I remember Baby when he was younger. Look, that's what he
Like
thought I
real,
was
yeah,
gonna
yeah.
say real
Absolutely.
early on, but I
Yeah.
was talking about sugar. But it is undoubtedly a joy.
Wow.
You already know this, but of course I'll share here is it is a joy to see the evolution,
Wow.
to see the hand. I'm super duper excited when I get to see the making, see the hand of God work.
Wow.
And I've seen that throughout your life, beginning to present, and can foresee greater things.
Wow.
It is just amazing. I am always, and I tell you this every time I talk to you, that I'm super duper proud of you.
Wow.
And know that, what you're doing is not going unnoticed, even
Wow.
from an elder. I ain't that old, but you get the
I
point.
about to No, thank
But
you for
from
that.
someone who saw you as a child, you
Yeah.
know what I mean? Like, and you know, it's just the journey.
Thank
And
you.
I love that for you. I love that for you. And I know that there are greater things out there for you. I would like for you to share with the listeners and the viewers how they can find you,
Sure.
because you are an international chief concierge, so you want the people to find you. How can they find? Look in that
They
camera and tell them how can they find you.
they can find me on social media at Devon Castro, and then on our website, theluxelifeconcierge.com.
Awesome. And the Lux Life is Luxe.
Luxe. That's right.
Awesome, awesome. Well, again, my darling, I
Thank
thank
you.
you. I know you are super busy. I appreciate the jet bringing you here today. Okay.
Don't, don't. Thank you. I appreciate you.
Don't
No,
stop.
I really appreciate you because I've seen your evolution as well. You've always been great, but to see you live on purpose like this, that excites me. So thank
I am super duper excited. And in this phase of my
you.
life,
Yeah.
believe it or not, and I wanted to show in everything that I do, the giving back for me, you really make me want to do more.
Wow.
I'll really be honest. I think, sometimes you can see people and you're like, dang, I ain't doing enough. But again, I've seen I see the imprints of those two, that you mentioned, those that, others may know and hadn't, or those that some don't know. But
Wow.
I
Yeah.
see the imprint on your life, and I really am, super duper excited. Like I said, you encourage me to be greater.
Wow.
That's
Thank
why I keep young people around me, because y'all inspire me. But
thank you.
in all facets and all aspects of everything, I really am super proud of you.
Wow.
So
Thank you.
keep going, keep striving, and you are, of course, a mentor to those that say it to you and
Mhm.
those that don't, those
Wow.
that watch you.
Wow. That's big. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Absolutely. But again, guys, I am so excited for this interview. I want you guys to make sure you tap in, go to the channel, click that button, and subscribe to this channel so you can be up on all things It's the Love for Me. Again, I am Dr. Cherie. I welcome you to follow me on all of my social platforms. And again, that is Dr. Cherie, Shree. I look forward to talking to you. It has been a great pleasure. Catch up with me when you can.
Yeah.
Bye.